Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Hummel, a Tier 6 German SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire and it's under the command of hossballs. Now it's armed with a 15cm howitzer, which is capable of 680 alpha, which is quite high compared to the other Tier 6 Artys like, well, the M44 will only do 550, so this one can do quite a bit more. But it does have a penalty, which is a very high reload time. 27.21 seconds. He's almost loaded. Now it's based on the Mark IV hull, and it's got bits and parts from the Mark III in there as well, because they have plenty of those available. And looks like the Germans, well, they use this Arty for counter battery work. They would actually take out the enemy Arty once they were located, and they do that using sound detection. They work out where the enemy Arty was, and then a battery of Hummels would then fire into those positions. And we can see that something is knocking down the fences. If you just notice that slightly to the left, there's one of the Artys. There's another one nearby as well, because you can see fences are being knocked down, or walls. And he's killed the M44 with his first shot. So he's done his first bit of counter battery. There's another Arty in that corner as well. I definitely saw some walls being knocked down, so I suspect that one of the other ones is in there. There's two other Hummels. Okay, he's reloaded. Say this Arty was doing precisely what they built the Hummel for, and he fired that round in, and you can see some other Arty rounds were arcing in as well, so his teammates are aiming for that spot as well, extending his aim. He really ought to go back to that northwest corner again. There's somebody over there, because walls were being knocked down near that M44. I suspect that one of the other Hummels was over there. Okay, Jagdpanzer 4 dialing in. Couple of seconds, rounds out straight away after that, and oh no, missed. Jagdpanzer 4 was on the move. That's where it really helps to have that aim timer, because it tells you how close you are ready to shoot, if you're fully dialed in or not. The Jagdpanzer 4's down. There's a whole bunch of enemy tanks right up on the reverse hill. The reverse slope of that hill is a well-known spot for enemy tanks. He's trying to line up a shot on the T-34-85. And it looks like that one hit something, because there was no explosion at the other end. So it's very likely he did touch something. He's having a quick look in this direction for Tracer. I really think he ought to look onto the northwest side of the battlefield, back to grid square A1, because that's where the Tracer is more than likely going to be coming from. One of the Arty was there, I believe. That AMD comes into sight. They're very fast moving targets. Over on the other side, we've got the SU-100. Nasty tank destroyer with a 100mm gun, or it can actually have a 122mm. But oh, look at that T-37 sitting on the outside of the gates of the castle. We're almost dialed in. 2, 1, ready. Rounds out. Direct hit, 290 hit points. T-37 was badly damaged there. And he's been killed, so he's out. And his track wasn't fixed, so we pick up some track damage as well, or track destroyed damage assistance. Okay, over on this side of the battle, we've got a KV-2. We're fully loaded, ready to go. Almost fully dialed in on that spot. Rounds out. And it's a kill! The KV-2 didn't move, and he got taken out with that shot. Okay, changing position. Right, we've got a super jumbo M4A3E2 just north of the castle grounds, and we're getting requests for help from the box tank who's inside the castle grounds. But at this moment, hossballs is looking for the enemy Arty. I think he's over in that corner. I think that's why we saw those little walls down there were being knocked over, and that's indication that something was in that general vicinity. I suspect he's still there, even after his teammate was taken out. Well, we fired a round in and there was no damage from on the enemy, so yeah, he's changing position again. Type 64's got fairly close. Oh, he's killed. Okay, there's that super jumbo. Okay, we're loaded. We have got a shot on him. Just dialing in. 3 seconds, 2, 1, ready. Rounds out. Direct hit, 224, good shot. That will really help the box tank, but the box tank actually is taken out by the Jagdpanzer 4. So maybe it was the Jagdpanzer 4 that was actually sitting up in the northwest corner. Okay, the Mario Kart just managed to do some damage. Took out our T-78. Our poor Dickermax has suffered as well. And now he's gone down to the enemy Hummel. Trying to follow that Mario Kart as he moves about. Gone back to the cops. We're one tank down on the enemy at the moment. I have the feeling their attack force on the east side of the battlefield's been wiped out, but obviously they are still very active in the centre. He's looking for the tracer from one of the Arty. It could be that the enemy Arty are not firing simply because they've got nothing to fire at. But he's decided to have a look elsewhere. No tracer. Oh, there's the MT25. They just lost their T3485 to our AMX13 F3. We're trying to get a shot on that MT25 as he dashes up that moat. Oh, and the Jagdpanzer 4's been spotted. There he is. We haven't got a shot because he's behind a rock at the moment, but he's coming out. Here we go. Direct hit, 211 hit points of damage, and the kill shot comes from the M44. Their Mario Kart's come into sight again, and unfortunately he took out our MT25. So it's 4 versus 4, and 3 members of our team are Arties. The AMX13 F3 looks like he's headed this direction towards us. I think he's concerned about the Mario Kart. Here comes the Mario Kart. He's low on hit points. And that's a kill shot. Beautiful. On the move. Takes him out. Saves the AMX. But he just got hit by another Arty round. He needs to move in a different direction to avoid any counter battery. That gives us the advantage now because they've only got one light tank, an MT25. We've got an AMX 12 ton, and of course all 3 Arty, and all 3 Arty in our team have got kills. And that means that hossballs, of course, has got 3 kills now. He's still having a look for the counter battery. There's the MT25. He just got killed by the AMX 12 ton. So now we can start moving towards the enemy area. That's the best thing to do on this stage of the game. Get closer to the enemy. The closer you are, the more likely you're going to be able to react quickly and get snapshots on them. If you sit at the back, it's a long range shot and it's much more difficult. If you move closer to the enemy, you can see that the AMX-13F3 and the M44 both moving forwards up the east side of the map. They both know that the closer you are, the quicker you can get that win. Meanwhile, hossballs is still looking long range for Tracer at the enemy. Well, the Hummel just managed to shotgun our AMX 12 ton. And I think it was the Hummel that was on the northwest corner. That was probably the thing that was knocking down the walls. He was probably the player that was doing it. Shells coming in from our teammates. We fire around at that corner. And that probably was close. But I did see some destruction off to the right. Now, hossballs really does need to move. He can't sit here. If he does sit here, obviously he might be able to cover our cap area. But if he sits here, he's probably not going to get accurate shots on the enemy. Unless, of course, our other Arty can spot them. They're headed for the cap area. Remember, it's probably a 3 to 4 second flight for the shell. It goes from one end of the map to the other. And that 3 or 4 seconds is long enough for the enemy to get out of the way of the shell. And our guys have got low hit points. The AMX-13F3 has only got 13 hit points left. So they can easily be wiped out by a splash. And he probably won't get much warning. hossballs is just sitting at the back here. He's not going to spot anything because he's right at the back of a bush with all the bushes in between. The nearest he's going to spot the enemy is when it's virtually on top of him. He's not going to do the right thing if he sits here in the bushes. You need to go active. And the Hummels managed to kill our M44, and because hossballs is in completely the wrong position, he's not going to be able to help our AMX-13F3. It's a long flight time for the shell, and the AMX-13F3 takes care of the Hummel himself with a shotgun, but he might get killed by the Hummel, the other Hummel on the enemy team. He has been hit by him. He's been splashed. He lost 3 hit points and he's now going into the cap, and we really need to be in that cap with the AMX-13F3. And yet hossballs is still sitting at the back of the map, and you're doing the wrong thing. This is not how Arty play. And hossballs has finally realised what he's been doing wrong all this time. Okay, now move. Plus, of course, you need to platoon with that AMX-13F3. I just hope it's not too late and the enemy Hummel doesn't splash our AMX-13F3. We did have the 2-minute warning, and it's not long enough for him to cap. If he gets reset, that's it. It's all going to be over because you need at least 1 minute 40 seconds to cap out on your own. He's already well into the cap, but if he gets reset, even if we started again, there's the minute warning. If he does get reset, the point is that it's 50 seconds to cap. And there's the enemy Hummel. He's been spotted. The AMX-13F3's got no shot. And he's probably dialed in on us, but he can't shoot at the AMX-13F3. So long as we pin him there, he can't do anything. And it's too late for him to reload to take out the AMX-13F3. So he has to use his shot on the MX-13F3 or lose the game. And he's lost the game. And hossballs gets the kill on the Hummel at the last split second by backing up and firing over the barn. Well, that was a very narrow victory in many ways. I think hossballs realised at the last minute he had to get up the other end of the map. Otherwise, he wasn't going to be able to cap the AMX13, wasn't going to be able to cack out with any confidence of getting a reset. Well, he managed to get an ace tanker out of this game. In the Hummel, he managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 17, and of course he got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He did get 4 kills, and of course he did get that great kill on the KV2 as he was just sitting there. And of course the AMD, who made the big mistake of chasing after that AMX13F3 and paid for it with a big 15cm splash, which wiped him out. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, according to this, hossballs did get the highest damage in the game, but didn't pick up the high caliber. He got 1,673 hit points of damage. The next high score was the enemy Hummel with 1,584. And then after that, it was the AMX13F3 with 1,385. When it came to kills, it was hossballs who managed to get 4 kills. The AMX13F3 got 3, and so did the AMD 178B. And when it came to base XP, it was hossballs again. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,000 base experience points, 822 went to the AMX 12 ton, and 802 went to the AMX 13 F3 AM. He fired 12 rounds, got 7 direct hits and 1 penetration and 8 splash. Damage of 1,673 hit points, of which 1,337 were at more than 300 meters. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, that was the Hummel. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 4, and did 137 hit points of damage assistance and 425 hit points of stun assist of 5 stuns. On a free play count, he earned 30,706 credits, and after resupply of ammunition, he took away 17,266 credits. He got 1,000 XP, and that's all he received because he'd already had his 1 win that day, and so there was no multipliers. But yes, it was a good kill at the end on that Hummel. It was a very good kill on KV2 and a very good kill on the AMD 178B. But I would plead to hossballs, if you get in that situation again, don't sit at the back of the map and expect others to win the map for you. Do what the other Arty players did. Move forward to find the enemy, because if you move forward and you're all together, there's more chance that you're going to find the enemy and get quick shots on them to get them out of the game. The M44 got taken out because he was unprepared. He was spotted and unprepared, and consequently that AMX13F3 was left in a rather dicey situation of going into that cap with low hit points, and if he got reset just once, that would have been it. The game would have been a draw because you wouldn't have been able to get to the cap in time from the back of the map to cap out. But by doing what you did, moving forward eventually, you actually did get the kill on the Hummel because you managed to find him eventually. And I'm surprised that enemy Hummel didn't try to kill the AMX13F3. I think he may have been sitting up on top of that hill spotting, and that's how he managed to kill the M44, because he spotted him from afar. But I think actually, you know, in future battles, please move up with the other guys and try and get hits on the enemy closer to them, because it's a much better way to play. And if you can, cap out with the others right at the other end of the map, and then there's less chance the enemy are going to take you all out, because if you're all capping together at the same time, then if they do try to take one of you out, you can get them in the process and win the game for your team. But other than that, congratulations on your ace tanker. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like, and please do subscribe to our channel, hit that notification button, and thank you for watching.